Hello, everyone. I'm Jean-Claude BeyondMystic, and welcome to this deep woo-woo episode of Tarot Readings by Janine. You can find her work at Sending Ravens here on YouTube, and also at Tarot by Janine, where she just uploaded the deep truths about the crisis in Ukraine. Go check it out. Janine, welcome back to the show.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Jean-Claude.
How's it going?
Oh, it's going good. Yep.
It's going good. I'm noticing something different. And in the poster here, you have a beautiful turquoise necklace. What's happening there in your neck? What's going on? What's that one?
Oh, yeah. Recently, so I was wearing that necklace nonstop because as soon as I got it, I know that turquoise is very protective, and I felt like I needed the protection.
Yeah.
And especially since it's right on my throat, so I'm wearing it around my neck, so it's all about what I'm saying, so I needed the protection. But it must have absorbed, like stones do, all kinds of energy and protected me from all kinds of things, because just the other day, it literally exploded and all the beads started falling all over the sink and where I was standing. And thank goodness I collected them all. And I have them, it'll have to get relaced. But first of all, I'm going to have to clear all the stones.
Right. Well, it kind of makes sense. I mean, in New Mexico, we see a lot of shamans using that stone for spiritual protection and all that. And you and I have been kind of through hell and back in the last couple of months here doing all of this reporting. So yeah, it's not surprising at all. Are you going to do a specific like smudging, clearing also before you have it relaced together? What are you doing?
Yeah, I'll probably first put it in a bowl full of sea salt. No water, because that degrades the stone, but just the sea salt dry. Push it to the bottom, leave it overnight, and then under a full moon, charge it up.
Yeah.
And even though I know the moon's up, we're up in the air about what really the moon is, somehow the energy of that seems to recharge things. And you can smudge it as well. All of those things. Doing all of them would be good.
Well, we need a lot of protection work, that's for sure. Thank you, everyone, for joining us here tonight on this live interactive show. We're somewhat back to maybe normal, dare I say, knock on wood, before anything else happens here. Of course, there's still weird shit going on around the world, but we're back to, at least for tonight, doing a regular exciting Tarot by Janine episode. And of course, we are going to be taking your questions as we go along tonight. We do apologize for not taking as many questions in the last couple of months. Of course, it's been busy and it's been pretty crazy. So we do appreciate each and every one of you in the PayPal tip jar. Let me bring that link up and also show you the pyramid that we have up for grabs for tonight for the PayPal tip jar donator winner for this evening. But before I do that, I also wanted to show you the winners. Finally, I've got the pictures. These are the beautiful Beyond Mystic audience members who won this $3,700 prize here, each one of them. So Marcel there on the left, he won the Royal Canadian Mint 100-ounce bars. Congratulations to Marcel, and thank you for that amazing picture. You look like a proud man. And also Stephanie having the PAMP Swiss 100-ounce silver bar in her hands with a big smile there. She's like, oh yeah, I got it. So thank you so much, and congratulations to you both. Janine and I were absolutely excited to do this promotion with you guys and to give back. We really appreciate each and every one of you, and these are the little things here and there that we can do to give back to this beautiful, amazing community. Look at all those hearts. Thank you so much, Robin. I appreciate that. And speaking of giving back, tonight we're giving also the Gaia Pyramid from at Ascension Organite. Let me play this video so you guys can figure out what this beautiful pyramid can actually do. Hold on a second.
Hi everyone, this is Carla from Ascension Organites. Today I wanted to show you one of my favorite pieces that I've ever made. Her name is Gaia, and I named her after our beautiful Mother Earth because I feel like she embodies all the elements of our planet. So Gaia is made out of brass metals and green citrine crystals. Green citrine is very known for bringing prosperity and abundance and also healing the heart. And I feel like our planet is all about that abundance. She also has the flower of life symbol in gold. So I'll give her another quick turnaround so you can see her. And I hope you like her. Thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Carla. And if you guys want to get one of these amazing creations of these organized pyramids in your own possession, please visit Carla's new website.
Welcome back.
What's playing? Hold on. There you go. You can visit her at ascensionorganites.com is our new website, and you can just look for the shop there to get all of the different models available to you now. And on top of that, you can get a 10% discount here using the coupon code BeyondMystic. Janine, we have a lot to talk about here tonight, and we've kind of been neglecting these topics here for the last little while just because of all the war reporting and everything else. But I wanted to bring this to your attention tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about crypto and what's happening in our financial system. Of course, you and I just recorded the last Beyond Crypto Woo episode this weekend, as well as the Astro Woo Finance with Julie. Really, really cool stuff coming out of that. Exciting news and a lot of excitement here for the month of March. But here we're seeing, of course, Christine Lagarde now urging for new crypto regulations here because they can presume that Mr. P here in this, oh man, I'm trying to use my words here, but let's just say Mr. P here. You guys know who I'm talking about, so that he doesn't evade sanctions. This is very familiar, of course. We've just seen the same type of thing in Canada with the grab from the Emergencies Act after the truckers were funding money. And I wanted to ask you, are we going to see more of that here in Canada? We just heard India is also now taxing at 30% cryptocurrency gains. This is new legislation that was just put up. And I wanted to know, generally speaking, is the world population also going to be fighting this new fight here with the powers that were, who are still trying to introduce their old systems here into this new world? What can the card tell us here on how we're going to navigate this next fight here with creating our organic economy for humans?
Okay, something's going to blow up all those deep state plans to tax things that they shouldn't be dabbling in. And it's got something to do with the positive or the good guy army or military. It's going to put a stop to that. And we're going to come out victorious. So I'm just not buying it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I agree. And so far, I mean, every time they try to legislate around cryptos, the countries who do that eventually capitulate and go into cryptos. And again, the power of the market here and the power of people standing together in Ottawa showed you really where the power lies. And it's not with the people in power. It's in fact with us who maybe unwittingly and undeservingly give away our powers to these people. What's happening here too, this gentleman was very famous on predicting quite a few things here in terms of quantitative easing, the bond market debacles. He's warning here of a Lehman weekend moment. This was produced yesterday on the 27th. He's referring to next weekend coming up. Some other people in the analytical world called it perhaps the Nixon moment. We just heard last week that who was it? Deutsche Bank was suggesting that they would perhaps revalue gold here to get out from underneath this liquidity problem at the bank level and this hyperinflation issue. Now he's warning that this next weekend could be one of those Lehman weekends. Can you forecast here with the cards and see perhaps is it because of the war? Is it because of the hyperinflation? All of these events together, or maybe even the white hats maybe forcing their hand here that could create a Lehman moment weekend here for the next weekend.
So you're going to need to tell me what that means exactly.
Lehman Brothers. Okay, so the crisis in 08, 07, 08 that led to this whole worldwide crisis was led by Lehman Brothers. So basically, it was the credit default swaps on all the mortgage-backed scenarios. So, okay, so a Lehman moment may mean that something could happen, and then we'd have this huge cascading effect. In 2008, it was the credit default swaps. But what he's talking about here is a huge cascading effect that could envelop the planet in a very short period of time, like that type of moment in our financial world.
Well, I'm not really getting that happening because we've got the Hanged Man. So that's one way it could go, but then the Fool's over here. So the Fool is spontaneous and is at the right place at the right time. And we've got the Queen. So he's going from the worst case scenario, it sounds like, but the outcome is fear and hidden things and things coming out about the manipulation of things, or like this feels like things coming out from the dark. when I look at that, because these two are surrounding it. So something else is going to happen that's more positive and to the advantage of humans.
Well, coming from the dark here, you and I were just reporting this on the Beyond Crypto Woo episode. This massive leak here at Crédit Suisse could expose and dox a lot of these politicians and elites around the world and where they get their money and where it goes.
Yeah.
Janine?
Yeah, so that's what I think this is right away when you said that. So this is like a whole bunch of dysfunction coming, a light being shone on it.
Wow. Yeah. Well, that could trigger a Lehman moment again, just like the implementation of the Emergencies Act did cause a very dire scenario for the powers that be, because people the next day were trying to remove their money from the banks. And then our federal minister came out and said, oh my God, the banks now have the power to freeze your assets in order to prevent the bank run, like it had already started. So this could be, again, what Cliff High was predicting here, that we could get into this panic to own, where people are trying to get out of the banking system and very quickly in either crypto, gold and silver, maybe real estate, anything to get rid of these dollars that are basically dying here of the old system. And perhaps a big leak like this could be part of it. So that's, anyways, still to follow here. Let's go back on this cryptocurrency news. Again, guys, just to bring it up on the screen for you guys, India. So you can find this. This was on Reuters reporting this 30%. But there's more to this story. If they're going to tax digital currencies here in the highest tax band, they're essentially telling you now, crypto is a real thing. It's no longer, oh, just for the pedophiles and traffickers. They're expecting this to be mass adopted, and that's why they're putting their legislation in place before that in order to get their cut. So you have to read between the lines here as to what's happening. It's not just the tax bracket here that's interesting. Janine, do you want to pull any other cards on this and see perhaps what the other message can be underlying here?
Well, it's definitely pointing to a crash in the financial market, I'd say. But this is interesting. This makes everything way better. So crash in the financial market, but somehow we come out ahead in the big picture, because that could be that gold-backed system.
Yeah.
And also could be a lot of people moving over to other systems, right? Because secretly in the past, something else is happening. And a lot of people don't know about it yet. Wow. And it's going to be triggered by some kind of military movement. Keep saying that. Wow. Yeah. So we got all kinds of stuff going on, just ready to happen here.
And do you think the military movement, let me bring up your website again here, Tarot by Janine. Do you think the military movement could have something to do with the situation in this particular country and the people running away from Israel, running away from Kazakhstan into the country here with perhaps some old banking codes, banking ideas, centralized banking warfare models, et cetera, and that this military could be the kickstart here for this new system? Is it connected to this?
Okay.
Using my words there too. A few people got deleted for some of the content on this one here. It's a tough one to go around, but you get our drift there.
Yeah. Okay, I'm getting a yes. That's definitely laced into the military. I think it's also in the past, so it's already been foretold somehow. So this was already planned a long time ago. This military move I'm talking about, but so it sounds like a lot of those things you were bringing up have already been planned a long time ago as well.
Yeah.
It's been long desired, and it's definitely for the advantage of humans, even though I think it'll be a little bit traumatizing. I mean, if military step out all over the world, that's going to be a little scary.
Wow.
Especially for sleepers. I'm not scared. I'm like, bring it on.
Yeah, bring it.
Let's do this. Yeah.
You and I are late reporting on this one here. It took quite a bit out of us this weekend to produce the Beyond Crypto Woo and the Astro Woo episodes. Oh my God, guys, please do go check it out. Chock full of information. Let me bring that up on the screen here. This is the Beyond Crypto Woo for March. Really, really cool. And we added to the cryptos list as well. A lot of people are asking us for different cryptos to add to the wallet, the forecasting that we do on a monthly basis. And of course, we've decoded all of this mainstream news here to kind of help you navigate all of this. And on top of that, we just recorded this one here, the Astro Woo Finance here. This is adding your personal astrology. So this is like a personal reading with your astrology and also the tarot. And on that note, I had it here. I also added this link in the pay-per-view file as well as the Insider Access Pass member. This is Julie. This is a free video explaining you how to use your personalized birth chart. Whether you got that from Julie or someplace else on the web, it'll show you how to use that and maximize this information here in the Astro Woo episode. So do go check that out. You can find that also on her Maison Jupiter website here, and you can see that this is the video here, and it's also on our pay-per-view. Janine, let's go to, that was interesting, the military. Yeah, so anyways, going back, we might be recording this uncensored thing on Ukraine here very soon, so stay tuned for that one. Door 17 is asking, please ask Janine, this is from the Insider Access Pass Discord channel, please ask Janine about the Queen's death and if it's related to the London Bridge in Arizona. I keep hearing about all the dams coming down, question mark. I'm not familiar with London Bridge in Arizona, but let's pull the cards and see what's up with that. Robin Veal says, love you, JC and Janine. Love you too.
Well, that's kind of two questions. The Queen's death, that's one question. And is the Queen's death related to? So if it was the question, is the Queen's death related to the Arizona, what people are talking about? Aren't there parts of London Bridge in Arizona? Didn't it get moved? I know that sounds nuts, but I'm pretty sure I read that.
London Bridge, Lake Havasu City. Yeah. Yeah. That could be.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyway, I'm not necessarily getting a yes on that. I don't think they're connected somehow. But of course, just because of the name London Bridge, I mean, you know, they're going to assume that. But I'm not necessarily getting that. But around the Queen's death, so it feels like we're like hours and days away from her. We've been saying that for 2 years.
I know.
Away from her. It's like, it feels like it's really going to be just, they're just going to surprise us right out of left field when they announce it, right? Yeah. And and it feels like there's reasons why it's been held up. So they had quite a few dates, I think, but these 5 hold things up and put up. So the other things have to go down first or have to be handled or managed in a certain way. Because of course, you know, I'm thinking she already left us. So from what we've been getting, and a lot of people get that she's long gone, but of course, so now it would be just part of the movie, I guess, to have her actually exit. And these look like it's been held up. So it could be any minute.
I'm going to bring this up. I can't really read it, but Patty Jones is saying London Bridge is Arizona is where a lot of this things are happening to small people, horrible place. So that's interesting too, in the context of secrets being revealed and all disclosure. Thank you, Patty, for that. I appreciate that. Yeah. Okay. Vida is asking, again from the Insider Access Pass. Hi, Janine. What can the cards tell us about when mandates will be lifted in Canada so unwilling people can fly?
Right. Yeah, I did.
Right now, it's a slow-going story in Ottawa. They seem to be frozen now that the Emergencies Act has been revoked. The federal government, at least, is nowhere on this question, although the provinces have started to implement their lifting of some of these mandates, including here in Ontario starting March 1st. But where are the feds on all of this? Are they going to sneak us up very soon here with perhaps a reversal on these mandates in terms of letting Canadians who are unwilling fly?
Yes. Yes. Okay. And it has something to do with an alliance move that's about to be made. So it's not going to be just out of the goodness of their hearts or anything, right? And all everybody you're watching, according to my cards anyway, everybody in that government that we think is the Canadian government, have capitulated. This is consistent that I've been getting for months and months. So they've made deals, and so I don't believe a lot of the things people are sending around that are really scary, like that are saying, oh yeah, all of a sudden we're going to have this in the background, some federal thing that makes us all have one of those codes before we can do anything. Do you know what I mean? Like it feels like a lot of that's just trying to scare you awake. Now, not to say people watching this are likely already know all that stuff and they're awake, but they're trying to really wake up more people. That's what I don't believe, and I've looked at it a couple times, that those are going to actually go through.
Yeah.
A lot of the things passing are just to wake you up. I don't think they're going to hold, because that government's not real, you guys. It's just like what's happening in the US.
It seems that universe has fun with us. It brings us to the brink or to that wall of destruction just to pull us back. We've seen this time and time again on the planet. It's not to say there's not atrocities and people who are maimed and hurt and killed with all of this, but generally speaking, I think again, and I don't think, I know deep down, universe is favoring humans, the organic humans, and so this is where we're going. It's very positive in my light, but we still have to be on guard and not wait for everybody else to fix everything. We are that cavalry, absolutely.
We are.
Okay. Yeah. This question here is from Melissa. Let me see if I can bring this up. Can you see this in the middle? Hold on. There you go. Thanks for all you do. I continue to have a dream of sitting on bleachers, and the only cloud in the sky spells out Chinese writing. Help. What does this mean, Melissa? That's a cool question. Thank you, Melissa. I appreciate the tip. And again, guys, tonight, pyramid from Carla, and that is, I believe it was Gaia.
Yeah, star seeds.
Sorry, there was an echo there. This is the pyramid for tonight's tip jar. Thank you.
That's a beauty, by the way.
Yeah, I really like those colors. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So dream, writing in the sky, Chinese, what does it mean?
Seems to be related to a past life she had where she lived there, right? And or in an Asian country where that writing would make sense to her. And she was in a military there. So she was actually a soldier in a military. But I get, when I feel it or see it, it feels like hundreds of years ago. It doesn't feel like current. I'm feeling like all kinds of cumbersome sort of armor, not like what they wear now. And it was a very, there's a couple of fives around it. It was a very disappointing lifetime. Like a lot of things didn't go her way in that lifetime, but she was a male in that lifetime. But there was a lot of things that were disappointing, and a lot of things that come her way this lifetime are to make up for that very difficult lifetime. So some rewards are coming to her this lifetime and have already come to her because of all the setbacks she had and all the hard work spiritually she did in that lifetime.
Wow.
She was tested in that lifetime. It was a really hard one, but I feel like there's things coming, if they haven't already, where it gets made up to her.
Wow, that's fascinating. Okay. I hope that helps. Thank you for that tip. The next question is from Elaine Meary, wondering if the whole real estate market, a lot of people are asking about this actually, if the whole real estate market is on the edge of a huge adjustment this week, up or down, an adjustment. Thank you, and bless you, Janine, JC, for your beautiful service to all. Thank you, Elaine. Elaine, I believe, is in the chat. Real estate.
Oh, you bet it is.
Big shakeup. Whoa.
Whatever we're seeing seems really like not in line with reality, if that makes any sense. So it's bedeviled. There's a bedevilment to it. So it's functioning in a way that doesn't represent really what's going on, if that makes any sense. Let's see what direction here, past, present. Yeah, there's all these hidden factors that have created like a facade or a false front on the market. So I'm not sure. I haven't been looking at it lately, but I've been hearing rumors that some places are even selling things 100,000 over they're asking and weird things like that, which doesn't make any sense. We're just coming out of a 2-year pandemic, and you know what I mean, and all kinds of weird things. So I don't understand how that could be. That seems strange, unless that's a bunch of people grasping to put their actual savings into something tangible. That would make sense, right? So they're buying up, you know, no, it's going to go the way of down. Okay, so I got these two.
We've been predicting that in the astral wheel.
Go down, so because we've got the death card, this happens next.
Yeah.
The death card, so a slow, but it won't just drop so suddenly as that, because this is slowly but surely, and it has something to do with the crash maybe of the dollar, or the death of something's dying, this long, slow death. It has something to do with that. That could be also our financial markets having a big dip, but it's good for people. It'll be good for if you want to get into the market, it'll be a good time to do it.
Okay, so let's go full circle to the beginning of the show. What's his name? Pozar was warning of another Lehman moment this weekend, right? And we went to what could perhaps be their military or whatnot, or disclosures, hidden secrets. But if you go back, and I kind of explained it with the mortgage-backed securities and the credit default swaps here that eventually led to their bankruptcy. But again, this has to do with subprime mortgages. So when he's saying there's a Lehman moment perhaps this weekend, we're talking about the real estate market. And you just said, oh yeah, there could be a weird moment this weekend. So this ties in now. So thank you for that question, Elaine, I believe it was. Wow, that's fascinating. Okay, let me see what I have on the deck here before we go back to more questions. This is interesting here too. Okay, so for a long time now, in our space, we've been talking about this mass adoption curve that would suddenly hit, where people would realize that crypto is actually a thing, that this whole world is going there, and that would propel prices to crazy amounts. But before we saw that, we needed to see big players adopt crypto as a mainstream thing. Well, today, just like I shot across the bow, eBay announced that it's going to take crypto payments. It's already accepting, of course, non-fungible tokens, NFTs. So are we at that moment now that we can safely say maybe 3, 4, or 5 months in the future and look back at here and say, this is the moment in time where mass adoption really took hold? Is that what we're looking at here today? Because we're hearing also Amazon is in the background. They've been testing this for 2 years. So these announcements could come fast and furious here in the next little while.
Okay, there's still something, a hurdle to get by where it'll make crypto really secure. Still something going on. Okay. And it's there's spiritual energy around it, and or off-world sort of wisdom maybe, and so some plays that are going on in this spiritual conflict, we'll call it, because the W word, if you use it too much, is not a good idea. Mm-hmm. So the conflict, that the world conflict that we've been calling a spiritual or an information conflict, right? You know what I mean? Yeah. Is there's something still to play out before that's all together, something we don't know about going on in the background. So they might still be, I feel like it's going to be really manipulated, which ones stay and which ones go. I really do.
For sure.
Yeah, because this death card says some of them will, so we can't say across the board cryptos are all going to really, no, but they're going to pick and choose them, and for various reasons. And yeah, some of them will be really, it'll be where your wealth is. Yeah.
Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe I'm right when I say this, but Cliff, in his predictions when he was doing the bare naked wealth reports on crypto, he said that the majority of the cryptos would not survive this transition. So yes, absolutely, buyer beware. You have to research, and you have to research future utility as opposed to chasing momentum. And Reggie Middleton was famous again for saying that here on my show. And I thought, oh, wow, that makes a lot of sense here when you're investing in these markets. Now, speaking of the crypto markets and some crazy people saying crazy shit, JP Morgan, or Jamie Dimon, of course, at JP Morgan a couple of years ago said that Bitcoin was a fraud and that he would, of course, fire anybody who bought it. And then a week later, we recognized that JP Morgan Europe was the biggest buyer of Bitcoin that year. So it's kind of like, okay, come on, Mr. J. But I want to ask the cards here: is he speaking the truth here today? He's saying, guys, hold on. He's telling his investors here that these SWIFT sanctions that you and I were forecasting in the Beyond Crypto Woo could bring unintended consequences, right? So is he also pointing at perhaps something, a Lehman moment event this weekend, and he's kind of forecasting here to his elite friends that perhaps they might take some money off the table here and get out of harm's way? Is he trying to actually say that to the people here? What's going on behind this message? Is he rebuying some karma for lying to us for so many years? What's going on?
I think he's manipulating something. He has a desired outcome for saying that.
For sure.
And he's looking in the future, and so it's very specific to his own needs, which sounds like he did that before, right? Mm-hmm. It's like what they're doing with gold and silver.
Yeah.
Keep it down and don't pay any attention to this over here. And that meanwhile, there's stockpiling it, because they know what it's going to be used for, everything. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Anyway, so it looks like he has a specific thing that he's actually downplaying something or underestimating something or sending people in a direction so he can get richer. So I don't know enough about the situation. People,
they do that all the time. So just to give you an example on crypto, he poo-pooed crypto and everybody sold their crypto because they were afraid of being in jail and blah, blah, blah. And he was buying crypto on the cheap after he had particularly crashed the price, of course. Yeah, this is what they do all the time. Okay, well, that's interesting. This leads us into this question in terms of manipulation. You and I reported this. Big Square had given us a slide for the Beyond Crypto Woo, I believe, and also the Astro Woo show, where he discovered that last week the manipulators had pumped out 1 billion with a B in paper ounces of silver to control the price and bring it back down under the 200-day moving average. And of course, we breached the 200-day moving average last week when the war broke out in Ukraine. So a lot of stress here. People worried about their bank accounts. We saw bank runs everywhere, including here in Canada, but in Ukraine, Russia, it's all that. So what's happening here today, he was reporting, and he'll be on the show tomorrow, by the way, actually, and that is with, let me see if I can bring this up, with Julie. And we're going to bring the astrology into the mix here with his financial analysis research. It's going to be a fabulous show. That's going to be at 3 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. But let's go back to this particular tweet. Hold on. Where did you go? Here, what he's saying now, which is interesting. On Friday, on notification day, only 10% of the people holding these contracts standing for deliveries was delivered. And typically, normally, 80 to 90% is delivered on that first day. So what he's presuming here, and he's asking the question, are we finally here where the COMEX has defaulted and they're not in a position to deliver to everyone who's standing for delivery? You and I have been talking about this for some time, that this ability to thwart the market with all of these shenanigans was long in the tooth, and they were dying a slow death. Have they already died that death? And is that what we're seeing here now, where they don't have the silver to deliver for this particular notification day?
Oh, they're definitely short some silver here. 50% maybe with that 5. They're short some silver for sure. But this is interesting because the first 2 cards I pulled were secretly, it looks like the White Hats or the Alliance is somehow maybe outing them on that. Like usually I think they would have been able to cover that up, but I feel like they're going to be there right now, even as we speak. There's some kind of action to bring a secret out, and it's brought forward by this is my Mr. T and the White Hats card, or the Alliance card, right? So it looks like they're wanting to bring that to everybody's attention. So normally I think that would have been covered up, but I think things are not going to be able to be covered up anymore. I think all these guys are getting outed left, right, and center. And that was because this is in the past. So there was something manipulated there by these guys. secretly.
Mm-hmm.
Or, I mean, sorry, to bring out a secret. So the covered up stuff's going to get uncovered. So I feel like this is almost like they pulled a trick on these guys, got them to do that in the first place, just so they could bring them to this place and show everybody what they do.
Well, if that's the case, could you imagine in a week or two, or even days after this announcement, how much pressure it could put on physical silver to the normies out there, realizing that, oh my God, Big Weir wasn't lying. There is a manipulation here, and it's at the end. And when the manipulation ends, maybe a couple hundred years of manipulation here, maybe 1,000 years, if you really look at it, where is this price going to go? And again, we have predictions of silver going to parity with gold. Go ahead, Janine.
Silver's going to go really well, like fast.
Mm-hmm.
And then that I just took the front of, I just took 3 piles and looked at the front card. So while you were talking, so that card there is strength. So it'll gain a lot of strength and fast with this card. This is fast and furious. And this card's this was the first one pulled. So shocking. All of a sudden, it's like something gets like the tether gets cut or whatever's been holding it. Just.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, guys, if you want to get some physical silver in your possession, beyondmystic.net/silver. These are the coupons and the discounts afforded to the Beyond Mystic audience here on the American side. The 1 ounce silver kangaroos at $3.99 over spot. And of course, the smaller denominational Noah's Ark silver coins here on sale for you guys as well. And for the Canadian audience, the Krugerrands again this week at $5.69 Canadian over spot. That's at mfbullion.ca. And I have to warn you, both of these companies are primary dealers, huge volumes, and they're not sleeping. Their phone has been off the hook for the last week. I've got a couple of emails saying, hey, JC, so-and-so didn't respond to me. I know. They're working 24 hours here, and for every phone call, they have 5 more on hold. It's absolutely crazy, the volume there. So guys, again, not financial advice, but if you didn't get your position in silver, maybe think about it. And if you want to get some discounts here, try one of these 2 suppliers here for you. Now, in terms of where the silver market is going here in the next month, we talked about this in great detail here for the Astro Woo Finance. So please do go check it out. It's available now on our pay-per-view as well as the Insider Access Pass membership. Okay, Janine, let me see if I can bring up another news article here of fun. Actually, let's take some more questions. We haven't taken a lot of questions for a while. Let me see. Questions over floods. Okay. Tracy72 from the Discord chat. Questions. Are the floods here in Australia a white hat op or Mother Nature cleaning out our country? Floods in Australia, white hat op or Mother Nature cleaning out the country? Thank you, Tracy. Appreciate that.
Okay, that's Mother Nature. We had these 2 cards. So an abundance of water. An abundance of water. Okay, and then this card was underneath the water. So the 3 of cups can be water, vessels that hold liquid. Okay, so that's where I got the water. And then she is like Mother Nature. She could be, she's very earthy. She's our earth grounded. And I didn't get any of the usual cards for white hat op or created by military or anything like that. So moving out of troubled waters, things are going to get better there. So I feel like because of it, so the sun is one of the best cards in the tarot deck, and this is moving out of troubled waters. So it feels like her clearing out energy, negative energy is exactly what it's doing.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Mother Nature's way of clearing. Yeah.
Okay. Barbara. Okay, so let me see if I can bring this one up on the screen. Barbara Schmidt, thank you so much. So excited to be on another live. Love you both. Thank you. Okay. I would like to know about my off-world connection. Can Janine tell me? Barbara Schmidt. Off-world connection. What can the cards tell her about that? And Tiger Phoenix, thank you. I appreciate that. She says, he or she says, I care about our money. Good job, JC. Yeah, this is the time where we have to educate ourselves. I'll get back to that in a second here with Janine and ask her what she's doing also to head the curve in all of this thing, because it is the question of the day right now. We are going through this worldwide financial transition, and educating yourself is key in order to better your position here moving forward, that in view, and also your loved ones. So Barbara, okay, question. Off-world connection. What can the cards tell her?
I think she came in with it. So she entered the world with it and has been some part of her personality can't quite grasp it or something. So it's like this is like can be about inner fighting inside parts of yourself. So maybe her upbringing, her belief system, something's fighting it. So the connection's been there since she came here with that connection. So spiritually was connected from birth to an off-world entity energies. Maybe even has some of that bloodline. I don't know. Maybe lived some lifetimes over there, wherever they're from, the off-worlders that she's connected to. But it feels like because she's been sort of fighting it a little bit, and she could even do that without knowing it, right? Like something will deny. It's like all the things I'm finding out that happened to me over my lifetime lead back to I've likely had off-world connection right from the time I was 3, having those nightmares about that standing panther image. And I didn't put it together till I was talking to James Gilliland.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, like it's like some things just click. So 60 years later, I figure out, yeah, I've had this connection since I was really little. And this person's got the same thing, it looks like. And here we've got the 9. So very independent energy. And a lot of it comes from that sort of influence, that off-worlder energy influence, or even bloodline that she's connected to somehow. That's a woman that asked that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what that feels like. And I feel like there's like slowly it'll get a hold of her again, like energetically. It's like it comes up in different times in her life. And I feel like she's more ready now to really embrace it. So going forward, just stay open. It'll come back around or get back in touch with you or make itself even clearer, because you're getting, even by asking that question, you're getting even more ready to really know who you really are.
Right. Wow. Okay. I hope that helps. Thank you for that tip. The next question, this is from the live chat here. There's 2 questions here that keep being repeated in the live chat and also on the Discord channel. I'm not sure if it's the same people, but let's start with this one. Adrian T. U.S. convoy, question mark. Are we going to see results here in the Americas or in the USA as compared to Canada? What can the cards tell us about the USA convoy?
Well, I'm getting a yes with that big ace in the middle. And you're not hearing about it. So it's been repressed, but it's absolutely happening, formed and moving. So like it's a thing and it's moving, and that's moving out of troubled water. So it'll bring out a lot of things or bring up a lot of things that need to be brought up, just like the Canadian one brought up all of these things. Like people started questioning things and started talking about things a lot more out in the open. It just brings things up, and that it'll do the same in the US, absolutely. But it's of course being repressed. So a lot of the actual things they're up to saying, or it's because those guys, the bad guys in the US, the mainstream media guys, had a chance to repress it and know how to do that now, because they watched in Canada the leaks, like all of those videos that leaked out there. Because they couldn't suppress them, of people dancing and loving each other and bouncy huts and everything. So it feels like in the US, they're a little ahead of the game on nipping it, trying to nip it in the bud. Yeah. So they're going to need to really rise up and energy really stay strong to get through the repression and how they're trying to nullify it and deny it. So cancel culture, like they're going to have to. So these 2 are literally opposites. This card's strong and powerful and saying yes and standing up. So they're going to need a lot of help with that kind of positive energy to get through. They're trying to nip it, like kill it in the bud sort of thing. Yeah, they're trying to say it's dead in the water, as one saying that comes to mind. And it's not at all. So they're going to need a lot of energy focus and share things like what I was doing with the Canadian one. Every single time I got a video clip that was authentic, like I look around and make sure it really did look like a Canadian visual. Like some people sent me things that were obviously from other places because people were wearing short sleeved shirts and there was all this activity and they were saying it was part of the convoy, and I'm like, no, that can't be. We're in Canada. You got to see winter coats. You got to see. So do a little bit of due diligence in looking at where did you get that information and what are you sharing, and watch it yourself. That's what I had to learn that the hard way. Okay, and then share things. Any kind of authentic. You'll see them on TikTok. You'll see them, just people filming themselves in the thing itself, so you can get some real footage and let people know what actually is going on.
Yeah. Okay, very good. Piggy, sweet. Is the IRS going down before I have to pay my taxes? Okay, a lot of people ask this question. So first of all, we're not going to give you any financial advices. We recommend you follow the laws and obey the laws of your own country. That being said, Janine, the cards. Is your IRS going to fall down? And so when?
So I'm going to look at the health of the IRS in the US right now.
Okay.
That's how we're going to do it. So something's already changed in the background around it. So this is a facade. So a lot of how it was functioning or what it was good for is a facade. So they're still holding up the facade of it. Oh yeah, we're still in functioning. Okay. So that 10 is also an ending. So it's not functioning the way it was, that's for sure. So everything you're seeing, how it used to be is done. Okay. And then temperance, and so they're rebuilding another version of, and it's a far less invasive, a whole different version of a form of maybe collecting taxes, okay? But it might not be called that because it looks like they're rebuilding something. That's going to take time, temperance, so patience and perseverance. And it's going to come from scratch, and maybe they're even going to ask the input of people, how they want that to function. So there's going to be some form, it looks like, or they're considering a new form and wanting to create a new form of how to collect for things like keeping up your roads. And because we find out that the IRA, is that how I say it? IRS, and also Canadians' version of that. And those
CRA. Oh, CRA in Canada. Okay.
Ours is the CRA, but those North American collection agencies, okay, we'll say government collection, don't actually go to our government. They go to the Fed or the bankers, or they don't go to
the Canadian CRA, by the way, uses the same software as the IRS. It's basically the same entity.
They were going to the royal family, apparently. How do you like that? They don't go back into your country. So there's going to be a new version of it according to what I get. So again, I'm not giving you advice, but I'm just saying what used to be that is recreating itself into something else altogether different. And it's going to be to the benefit of humans and not to your disadvantage. So I'm not going to say yes or no on that question. Make up your own mind.
Well, there's a saying, and there's a saying on. Oh, you were breaking up, Jenny. I didn't mean to cut over you. There's a saying in Wall Street also, something to the effect that the markets can be, what's the word? The markets can be irrational for longer than you can avoid your margin call. So basically, don't hold your breath on that question. You never know. These powers that be have tricks up their sleeves to keep pushing down the can, and they do hold the hard end of the stick, or the long end of the stick, of course, still today. But then again, you never know. So not financial advice. Okay. Okay. I messed that Wall Street quote, but anyways, you guys know what I mean. I was just discombobulated by this comment here. It's like, can I address the elephant in the room? GC is getting beat up in the comments. I am. I don't know. There's always trolls, but hey, I love him too. It's okay. I don't know what that's all about. Okay, let me bring up this next one here from Holly Venikiotis. Oh, that's a nice name. Thank you both. Appreciate all your hard work. See, we're not getting beat up in the chat. What are you talking about? Is there a message from my higher self for Holly? What do the cards have to say for Holly's higher self?
It looks like Holly's going to meet a past life association soon. That's going to be a really, really important juncture, or meeting. So they're meeting someone, and that someone is a sibling from their past. So they were siblings in another lifetime, and the person's going to be slightly younger than them. But it'll be like they'll meet, and it'll feel like you've known them forever. And it feels like it'll be really like another part of yourself just makes more sense upon knowing this person. Or you really meet a kindred spirit and you can really understand each other, and a lot of rejoicing and having a lot of fun together. So it's going to be a really nice connection. Surrender to, wow. Okay, surrender. Okay, in the other lifetime, you were split apart. Split apart. Both of you had the same. One of your parents were the same, but you were split apart. So you had the same mother. So you would have maybe been half siblings in that lifetime, and you loved each other. But because of things going on with the parents, you got split apart, and you ended up having to leave each other. So you had this total best friend / sibling, and you got split apart. So it'll feel like coming back together and finishing off some really positive karmic energy. Wow, there's my, it'll, even if you've just met them, it'll feel like you've known them forever. Yeah. So one of those, kind of connections is coming. And I've had a few of those this lifetime, and they're obvious. It's really fun. You just automatically just trust the person, and it's like you've known them forever and you've just met them. You're going to have one of those things coming up here.
Wow. Okay. Steve. Okay, Steve is asking a question. I won't bring it up there because he put his personal information. He's trying to get a hold of Sophie for the tarot booking. So I did, Steve, I did take a screenshot of that, and I'll send that to Julie at Maison Jupiter to make sure that is all scheduled. I think he's got a scheduling issue or a time zone issue. So hopefully you guys can work that out, but I'll send that to Julie right after the show. Thank you for letting me know. Question for Janine. I've done so much to prepare financially for what is to come. Am I ready? Have I done enough? Thank you. Jen M from the Insider Access Pass. A lot of people are worried about that, Janine. I know this is tough. I know there's good things coming up, but a lot of people are saying, did I do enough? They're thinking about their kids, their families, their legacies, and they're worried. But specifically for Jen M, has she done enough to prepare?
I'd even say she might even be over-prepared.
The people who ask that are normally over-prepared. The people in the show saying, hogwash, they're the ones who are not prepared.
She's overdone it. Yeah, she's very meticulous, let's say, and or driven or passionate, and or she's been at it for a while, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, and keeps thinking she's missing something. So she's got that weird feeling, am I missing something?
Yeah.
Okay, so this card is her advice. Lighten up a little bit, have a little more fun, and trust the process. And listen intuitively. Your intuition will tell you. I listen intuitively, and some days I go out and gather this or that I think I might be missing, but I just try to listen for it intuitively. Okay, so that's what I think she needs to do. Just listen intuitively now if there's something to add. But right now, the universe thinks you're good. You've done a really good job. This is in the background, so she's very prepared. This card says you've done see how that person is showing off to these people are admiring something, a work really well done. Yeah. So the universe thinks you've done a great job. So it'll let you know, your higher self will let you know if there's something to add or something to do.
Okay, very good. So Jen, you overachiever, you. That's good. Okay, so back to that question about. I just read that again there, so I will send that for the tarot cards. But guys, if you're looking for a reading with Sophie at Maison Jupiter, the link here, of course, is maisonjupiter.com, and there you're looking for the consultations. She's booking about a month and a half out, or if not 2 months out. She's very, very busy right now. But the coupon code again, if you're trying to get one of those, is 10% off here using BeyondMystic as the coupon code. Now, Janine, going back to the question of Jen here and how to get ready, you've, of course, always had a very positive outlook on all of these transformations. Yes, sometimes we have to break a few eggs to make an omelet. Do you agree that there's some maybe holdouts and some different sporadic difficulties during this transition, but ultimately it's good for humans. But that's not to say that you're sitting on your laurels and doing nothing yourself. What are you doing to prepare in terms of educating yourself and getting ahead of this curve and being responsible for yourself, Janine?
Well, I just went intuitively right at the beginning of things. I started feeling something really physical and tangible would be good. So, anything that I would have put in savings, I put in silver.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm going to start maybe looking at, I know gold is easier to store. So when I get enough to get any kind of amount of gold, I'm going to check that out. Okay. So because I love tangible things, being a Taurus, but I'm going to tackle, I didn't tackle it this weekend, but next weekend, some girls we're going to invite some gals over all around my age group, and we're going to look at Beyond Crypto Panic to Own. So we're gonna watch that together.
Mm-hmm.
Because for me, it's like I'm gonna need some people that are more doing their due diligence and or just better at things like working with their computer and whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm a little bit like I don't have enough Virgo in my chart, let's just say. I don't have any Virgo in my chart to tackle that. Yeah. So we're going to need putting our heads together with a few different people. So I can bring some of I'll be able to decipher some of the things. Also, my nephew helped me set up a wallet already. So that'll be interesting, but I want to actually learn how to function it myself instead of having to call him. He's in Australia, and figure out the time zones and everything. And then have a chat with him every time I want to use it. Right. I got to figure that out.
Right.
So just to get more comfortable and doing it with friends, because for me, that feels like a fun and less daunting way. We can have a few laughs.
Yeah.
Make a party out of it.
And also the coupon code is BYOB. It means be your own bank, but you can also bring your own booze to Jenny's crypto party here. So coupon code is still valid for today. I've actually added an extra day here because there's a few people who are having issues applying it to the site here today. So I've added one more day. So it is valid again tomorrow, guys. So BYOB10 will give you 10% off of this coupon code. And quite a few people in the chat were saying, oh my God, if you haven't done so already, please check out the Insider Access Pass. Of course, this will give you access to all of our normal pay-per-view series episodes, including the Astro Woo Finance, which is absolutely amazing. Do go check out the March 2022 forecast here. Absolutely amazing. And of course, all of the Beyond Crypto Woo right there. That's like university level education there from beginning to where we are now. And don't forget, if you buy the pass, you're buying a year forward, but you already have a year backwards of a lot of these episodes that still stand the test of time. So, and at a certain point too, Janine and I did talk about this, we're holding back as long as we can, but eventually we're going to have to raise the price of that Insider Access Pass just because of inflation. All our costs on the back end, the server, the bandwidth, all these things are increasing also for us. And we're doing our best here to keep these episodes at the most lowest price. But at a certain point, we're going to have to adjust like everybody else. I just saw this the other day too. Restaurants are putting up the temporary inflation fee on their bill now. It's just part of reality now. Okay, amazing show as always. And Trip, thank you so much. Janine, 57 minutes in. Why don't we close the show on let's look at the energies for the next 2 days. We know this weekend could be a little bit rocky there. We've got a lot of people forecasting real estate or something happening like a Lehman moment event. But let's look from between here and our next show on Wednesday night. What can we glean from the cards here for the audience members? And again, a big thank you to everyone from the PayPal tip jar. Again, this is the pyramid for the winner of those donations tonight. And I will be sending that out tomorrow via email with Carla in CC. So a big thank you to all of you who support the show. Really appreciate it.
2 5s. So there could be some, like this feels like energy shifting with family members. With you could be feeling more feisty than usual. You could be feeling more rejected. Like I was feeling that today. I'm really missing my sister.
Mm.
You know what I mean? She left a card in my mailbox, so that was a little ouchy because I'm, don't really want to just sit down with her until something cracks in the mainstream media, because it's too hard to just avoid all those topics. And so I feel like a bit of a meanie because of that.
Yeah.
I just don't want to get into anything. So I think a lot of people are going to be feeling that, like they just want this to get to the other level. So the people that we love, but we can't really talk to right now and or have a flowing conversation, or it just feels too uncomfortable. Okay. So, but this card says we're really close to that, coming to a place where we could have a reasonable conversation where they actually get a little bit of insight themselves, which would be brilliant, because this says that'll balance out. But we in the next couple of days, we might really be feeling this. And, it's that just before you break through kind of energy, where you're feeling a little frustrated. So try to remember that's only temporary. These things that are going on are temporary. Things are going to be revealed. They're daily coming out. Things are happening. You might not see them, right? So try not to get too frustrated. Just try to stay in that positive vibe and find things to do that take your mind off those kind of troubling energies, and do something that was fun. Like today, I lost hours just tripping around with Ashley. We went to visit a couple of people. We went to somebody's studio who was painting a mural on their wall. We got to see that. Like just go connect with some people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're so in need of that. We need that rapprochement. We've been divided for so long now, and we're all hungry for that human touch and that human connection. And speaking of you gallivanting around in Alberta, your mandate's lifted a bit earlier, but mine are lifting tomorrow, and I'm going to see a movie. God damn it! There's a cool action movie playing.
You're going to see the very one I went to see as soon as they lifted, as far as showing your pass or your
right. So you saw the same movie?
Yeah, the very one you wanted to see, and it was really fun.
Oh, cool. I'm looking forward to just having fun and relaxing. Oh my God. Sue Johnson, thank you so much. I really appreciate this comment, and I'm sure Janine does as well. Let her speak for herself. But this is the best tribe. Yes. Thanks, Jason and Janine, for creating a sacred space for us to go through these crazy transitions. This is what we try to do as best we can. And I know sometimes we fault, we make mistakes. We don't always have our makeup just on right. Sometimes my eyeliner is off, as people like to joke about it. At any rate, we try our best, and we really appreciate these comments. It's been a hell of a run, and the best is yet to come. I'm convinced of that, and we are all working together now to create this new earth. This is the transition we're going through here maybe in the next 3 or 4 years. We're already at that stage now. We see the old stuff crumbling, but we are actively building the new. And I want you to encourage you guys to bring more people to this tribe so that we get stronger and stronger and stronger together, and we build what we want as opposed to what the old system used to want for us. Yep. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us here tonight. Please do remember to like, share, and subscribe here. I'm at 68,000. Imagine that, Janine. Getting there on the Beyond Mystic 3. Thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate each and every one of you. And, of course, you can subscribe here to Tarot by Janine on YouTube. She's at 143. Woohoo! Rock star, Janine. And also at Sending Ravens at 88K here. Yeah. Oh, man. I love you guys. Have a great night, and we'll see you soon. And don't forget to join us tomorrow. Where was that? For the This Time is Different, Astro, Crypto, and Silver with Bix Weir and Julie from Maison Jupiter. Going to be a fabulous blockbuster show. And tomorrow night, also at 8 o'clock Eastern, for the French speaking audience members, we're having this other episode of Odyssée Galactique avec Julie et Jean-Claude. Oui, en français. 20h, heure de l'Est. So see you tomorrow, guys. I love you guys, and have a great evening. Au revoir.
Au revoir.